We need to talk more about this conference later. I'm going to grab a coffee. Let's video chat about this shortly.
That's good news, son. I love you. Call me.
All right, Mom, I'll talk to you later. Love you. Bye.
Okay, bye. Hungry?
Welcome, everybody. My name is Ian Quincy. I am the CEO of TabCo. Many of you know me simply as IQ. I'm the leader of a company that is promising a new generation in innovation in the tablet market. Now, we've had a good couple of months poking fun at the industry. We seized the day when we did skywriting over San Francisco, got a few laughs and a few groans with our spoof on the stolen iPhone 4. Many were intrigued by our updated version of the classic Lemmings commercial from Apple. We revealed our launch date in a big way with TabCo's Empire State Building takeoff of the viral video Air Force One from the Echo fashion brand. And most recently, we teased you with a sneak peek of our innovative UI. Now, we did all this because we wanted to be different in a time when many in the tablet industry are, quite frankly, the same. This is also true for many of the tablets on the market today. Now, we love the iPad, but other than that, a whole lot of samesies. So, today, we move from parody to reality. You may have already realized that TabCo is a parody company, and I'm not a CEO, so it wouldn't be right for me to be the one to unveil what we've been promising. Let me now turn the stage over to the real CEO behind our new tablet and the brand behind the brand. Here to shatter the sameness of the tablet market, Chandra Radhakrishnan.
Good morning. Hello again. It's great to be back. I'm Chandra Radhakrishnan, CEO and founder of Fusion Garage. Thank you for following along the TabCo campaign and for attending the webcast today. We hope that the teaser campaign has kept you interested and amused during the slow summer months. After 8 weeks of being a brand behind a parody brand, I'm excited to be the face of Fusion Garage. 2 years ago, my company launched the industry's first tablet, the Juju. While it was an accomplishment for a 14-person company to have created a new consumer electronics category, our initial hype didn't match the performance of our product. So what comes next is obvious. Why should any one of you believe that a new product from Fusion Garage would meet the expectations set by the TabCo campaign? And that's a fair question. TabCo created awareness, to be sure. In fact, some compared the hype that has been created to products that have been equally hyped and have failed. The segue comes to mind. Well, I know what I am, and I know what I am not. I'm confident, to be sure, but I'm not insane. The TabCo campaign has set very high expectations. It would be sheer madness for me to have undertaken the TabCo campaign and everything else that has come with it if our product couldn't live up to its billing. Why not just play it straight? Why all the TabCo hype if the product is as special as we say it is? Sure, we just wanted to have some fun, but more importantly, we wanted to be judged not on Fusion Garage past, but on our future and the product itself. If we had told you about the product prior to launch and talked about it and said it was from Fusion Garage, the reaction given wouldn't have given this special product a fair shot. So we created TabCo, an alter ego of sorts, to communicate something new was coming and that it was different from products out there today. And while all of that was going on, a group of more than 100 Fusion Garage employees have kept their heads down, kept working at it to make this vision and product a reality. We are here today to begin the process of justifying the expectations set by the TabCo campaign and to begin winning back the trust of the market. To that end, I want to say directly to the many people who bought our first product that we appreciate your support. In appreciation of the support, we want to give all our customers our new tablet for free. And by now, every Fusion Garage customer should have an email in their inbox with details on how and when they will receive their new tablet. This is just a small token of our appreciation for the confidence shown in our brand. It is no secret that we've been called many things over the past year, and this has been largely due to the product challenges that we've experienced. And many of them were justified. At the end of this webcast, I hope you'll call us something else. Thankful. Thankful because you took the time to attend this webcast and listen to what we have to say. And hopefully, give us a second chance. OK, now I'm excited to move on to why we are all here today. Let's get to what you all have been waiting for. We've come a very long way in a short period of time. Many good things have happened. We have raised tens of millions of dollars, and this has enabled us to do what you're going to see today. Fusion Garage is a very different company today to what it was before. The changes in Fusion Garage goes beyond the investment or the money raised. We have grown in many ways, including the size and the quality of our team. Fusion Garage also has become a global company. Our talent is drawn from many technology centers around the world. Our vision has been shaped by the landscape of the market. Let's understand what that is. Since the iPhone in 2007, there has been no innovation. There has been no difference in functionalities or features from other devices. Look at the devices behind me. The iPhone was innovative for its varied functionalities and for the difference that it brought to the market. The Android device next to it is a copycat. It's the same old, there's no difference, there's no innovation. Let's look at Android closely. Many fine brands have adopted Android over the last few years, but the devices they deliver are typically the same. And what that has allowed to is for Apple to lead from the front and be king of the hill. There are many products and there's no differentiation. The Android market is bloody. And we are here to challenge the status quo. A shakeout is required. Let me introduce Grid. So people, there you have it, Grid. At the heart of every great product is a great operating system. And we have created one that we believe changes the game. How do we do it? Grid is a new operating system that is built leveraging the Android kernel. We have taken the kernel and we've built on top of it. Think of it like how Apple took the Unix BSD and built Mac off it. It is important to note that this is not a reskin of Android. This isn't like Android as you have known it on any other device. This is an Android. This is Grid. Let me show you. It has a groundbreaking user interface like nothing else out there. The Grid is smart. It has intelligence built in. The Grid knows you. And innovation goes beyond intelligence. It's also visual. Motion picture class animations. Look at that. It's beyond fade in, it's beyond fade out. It's nothing like what you have on any other device out there today. It's just simply stunning. Grid also keeps you connected in new ways. Sharing is built into the OS. It's a social operating system. It lets you share in ways that you never thought could be possible. And sharing is all about content. But what good is content if you can't enjoy it in a natural way? I hate watching a video, having to stop it, and then having to start all over again when I leave my home. We have developed seamless state to eliminate that pain. And that isn't about simple synchronization. It isn't about having the same content, but it's about having seamless state and being able to pick up content from exactly where you left it. Search is like oxygen. Everybody needs to have it. You have to have it. Android devices only comes with Google Search. But this is Grid. We believe Bing is the best search technology out there. And we've built that into the Grid. We've integrated it within the Grid OS. And this helps enhance the Grid experience. And now it's time for me to introduce the tablet, the Grid10. I'm going to open a clip. Enjoy it. The Grid10 is one slick device. As you can see, I have the Grid10 in my hands. It's slick, it's slim, and it's the best 10-inch experience that you can get out there today. It has the highest resolution of any tablet in the market space today. It is powered by the most powerful mobile processor, and it is a great visual experience. It is light, and it's really, really slick. It's beautiful. But just having a great OS and great hardware doesn't complete the experience. You need more than that to be able to complete the experience. The Grid desktop is one part of that. You have all your favorite content on your PC, on your Mac. You have your music, your videos, your photos. The Grid desktop allows all of that to be brought to the Grid10, to the tablet. And it doesn't matter if those content exists on your iTunes or your Windows Media Player. The Grid desktop just finds all of that content and helps you bring that onto the tablet. And it also does that in exactly the same way as you organized it. Think of your music playlist. Think of your photos. Think of your albums. Think of your videos. You have it in a certain organization. The Grid desktop finds it and brings it to your Grid tablet. Let's talk about apps. We know how important apps is. We fully realize how that is important to complete the experience. And we believe in choices. We believe that you should be able to use third-party app stores as you desire. If you have Android apps, you can use Android apps on the Grid10 because the Grid OS supports Android apps. So how do you get apps for the Grid10? You can do that through third-party app stores like the Amazon App Store. With every other device, you only get a single app store. With us, you don't only have the ability to have the likes of Amazon App Store, we are also going to be introducing our own app store. It's called the Grid Shop. The Grid Shop will allow you to submit apps that you have written for Android, because we support Android apps. You can also write apps that are native to the platform with the APIs that we have. And with both the Grid Shop and the other third-party app stores, you can get as many apps as you like. It completes the experience. It works seamlessly on the Grid10. And we'll be accepting developer applications for our app store very shortly. Let me now introduce the Grid Frames. The Grid Frames is our productivity suite. We understand how important it is for some people to be able to do productivity on these devices. The Grid Frames helps you achieve that. You want to do presentations, you want to do spreadsheets, you want to do text, you do all of that with the frames. We have developed this to work dynamically with our tablet. It's a great touch experience, and it completes the experience. The Grid Desktop, the App Store, the Amazon App Store, the Grid Shop, the Grid Frames, all of this helps complete the Grid experience. And now is the time that you've been waiting for. It's showtime, guys. It's showtime. We're going to show you a demonstration of the devices. So shall we see how great this is? I'm going to switch on the device right now, and what you're going to see is the lock screen. And you unlock the lock screen in a very different way. You sign to unlock the device. Unlike other devices where you have a very typical unlock sequence, here you just have to unlock by signing. And when you sign in, you find that you are on a grid. The grid is your home screen. It's an endless space where you can throw around your apps the way you want it. I can move very quickly, or I can just pan around slowly the way I want. There are different clusters. There's a media cluster, there's a music cluster. Clusters are like folders. You organize it, you keep it the way you like it. So you don't have to page anymore like you do with the iPhone or the Android devices. Now you have an endless grid, and you can organize your apps the way you want it. I can also collapse a cluster. I can also expand a cluster. So you can have a smaller grid if you like. If I keep collapsing it, you'll be able to see your grid clearer. But if I expand it, it will show you all the folders or all the apps within that cluster itself. And if you notice right here, there's a grid map. The grid map tells you exactly where you are in the grid. So I could pan around and get there very quickly. I can just snap and just tab to get where I want to get to as well. So I could pan by using my fingers and scan around the home screen, or I can use the grid map to get to where I want to, or just tap to get there very, very quickly. So let's just see how we want to organize the clusters. On the grid, we have what we call the clusters. So if you look at the grid, you find a media cluster, you find a music cluster. All of these are like your folders. I can collapse to get the folders closed or the clusters closed. I can expand to have the clusters expanded. And when you close the cluster, you will push it and allow it to get to space so that you can see your grid in a clearer fashion. If I wanted to organize it or unopen the cluster, I can do just that, and that's exactly what I just did. And if I wanted to change my background, I just tap on the grid map, change background, and that will allow me to change the background that I like. And in this case, I'm going to choose, let me choose another background here. I just apply that, and my background has changed. I'm panning the grid again like I did, and if you notice, the background of the grid has a perspective to it, so it feels alive rather than being static. If I wanted to organize my clusters or organize my apps, I can do that very easily. I just tap on the organizer again, click on Edit Grid, and I press to hold to move an app out of the cluster. When I move it out to an empty space, that will become an app by itself. If I move another one and get it together with the previous one, that will create a cluster. And in this case, I'm just going to call the cluster. I don't want to create the cluster. I forget that. I basically move on. If I want to move this one instead, I can do that. Press and hold. That helps to create another cluster again because I'm pairing it. And let's just leave it as group for now and say done. And that creates a new cluster called the group. And if I'm done, I just apply, and that fixes the changes that I need. So let's click on Messages to see email. That will bring me to Message Center. And there you have it, the traditional email, where I can scroll to see my different messages. Tap on that. That will bring up a new message. Tap on that. It changes the message view. But one of the unique things about our email is when you get attachments like this, I can just tap on the attachment, and that will zoom in and get into a photo view mode. Because it's an attachment and it's a photo, you now can view it in photo mode. I just pan around to get back to a new photo that I want. I can just move backwards to the previous one, and I can go forward to another one. So it's basically seamless. I go backwards to get back to where I want to get to. So what I did was a back gesture that brings me back to my email client. So this device doesn't have any buttons. It's all gesture-based. If I want to get back to home, I just do a top-down swipe, and that gets me to home. You looked at that animation? That's what we call motion picture class animations. I'm going to move around the grid again to show you other stuff. Let's get back to email again to show you a unique view of email. In email view, the other things I can do is tap the same email again. That will bring up the message window. And over here, I can swipe through the photos that I have as well. So it's pretty seamless and allows me to see a totally different view of email. I can tap on Grid. That will bring up my grid view, which organizes my emails based on importance. So different sizes, different colors means different things. I'm going to go back to home again. The unique thing about our browser is what we call a Chromeless browser, because it allows you to have a Chromeless browsing experience. So if I tap on the screen, you see nothing. You see no Chrome. If I want to bring up the Chrome, I just swipe from the edge, and that brings up my tabs. I can move through my tabs by just moving my thumb. If I wanted to close one of it, I just tap on that, and it closes the browser, or closes the tab. If I wanted more controls, I tap on Open, and that gives me different options. If I didn't want those again, I just close it back again, and that minimizes the options. If I want to add a new tab, I just hit on New Tab, and that will bring up a new tab. Let's just change the URL to something else. Let me just tap on that. That will bring up the keyboard. And let me just type Google instead. And what you see happening here is you see different options. All the suggestions that you see right here are Bing powered. I mean, it's using Bing APIs. We have Microsoft Search built into it. Over here, you get your local or your searches based on history and bookmarks. And here we have what we call Star, which allows you to have intelligent options. We'll come to that in a bit. Let's just continue with going to google.com. That will launch a new tab, and you will launch a Google page. So while that is launching, if I wanted to tap back to another tab, I can do Def that. Move back again, gets me to the tab that's loading Google. And there you have it. A new page has been loaded. So if I wanted to go back to Bing, tap again, it brings back to Bing. If I didn't want the Chrome, tap, and you don't see the Chrome. You see a full screen. Bring up the gesture, and move your tab to get to the next tab. Simple, easy, full screen browsing. OK, let's look at photos right now. Let me tap on that, and that will bring up my photo album app. It has all my photo collection. I can pan around and see my different albums. It's almost like a light box. And if, let's say, I just click on one of these images, that will bring up my different photo albums. Tap on that, and that shows me different albums or different photos that I have from within the album itself. Easy swipes. If I wanted to do an edit of the photo, let's say I wanted to crop this photo, I just tap on Crop, and I just have to cut where I want to cut. And that basically helps me crop the photo. I'm going to save it, and that will allow me to see a saved version of this crop photo. So I'm just going to do that again. And that saves the photo, and it loads the crop photo that I just did. As you can see, this isn't just another tablet. This isn't just another OS. Grid10 is innovation. We have packed many different functionalities on this device. So how are we pricing this? Despite all that we have packed into the device, we have priced it at the same price as lesser products. It's going to be available for $499 for the Wi-Fi version, and for the Wi-Fi and 3G combo, you're going to have it at $599. And with the Grid10, you also get great headphones along with it, which other devices don't quite give you. You can order accessories as well from fusiongarage.com. You can pre-order the device today. This is a compelling price for a groundbreaking product, and you can pre-order the device today on fusiongarage.com. and it will ship on 15th September. We are also very proud to announce that Amazon will be carrying our product, and you can pre-order the Grid10 on Amazon.com today. If you think we are done, we're not quite done yet. There's something else that I would like to show you. The Grid OS powers more than just a device. It powers more than just a single screen. Let me show you the Grid4 smartphone. The Grid4 smartphone is a very slick device that has a beautiful interface, a beautiful screen, and it has the ability to run the Grid OS, which is probably the best thing about it. And with the Grid phone, seamless state works really, really well as well. So you can watch a video and then continue from exactly where you left it on the tablet back on the phone again, as you can see it behind me. It's a great device, and I think with that, it's time for showtime again. We're going to get into the demonstration of the phone. OK, before we start to see the phone demo, I want to go back to the tablet and show you a couple more things. I deliberately left that out in the previous demonstration so that you can see some of these functions working in tandem with the phone. So let's get back to the tablet, and let's look at some of the media stuff that you haven't seen yet. I'm going to click on videos, and that will bring me to my video gallery, where I have several movies of mine. I can scroll very quickly, and that gives me a 3D tilt that allows me to see the videos that I have in a very quick fashion. I can also tap on the alphabets, and that will get me to where I want to get to quicker. And let's just now start watching a movie. I'm going to click on Tron Legacy, and this will bring me to a detailed view of the video gallery because I've made a choice. And over here you can see I have summary, cast, chapters, and share. So we said it's a social OS. You can share from every function. I'm going to click on share here. I'm going to click on Twitter, and that gives me the ability to share to Twitter. But I'll just leave this alone. I don't want people to think I'm watching a movie, so I'll cancel and not share. And if you notice, the pictures here have been changing while I've been telling you about some of these functionalities. It's a poster change. It will show you different pictures of your movie, and it's pretty cool. But let's now watch the movie itself. I'll hit on play. And I actually get a question that says, you have a session start for this video. Do you want to resume? Let's just say yes. And this will begin the movie from where I left off on a previous device. And you can see the volume control and the way to seek the video is completely different from everything else out there. It is pretty cool, and it's very usable. It's intuitive. I can just move that to get the volume up. And I can skip the movie if I wanted to by just moving this wheel.
Oh yes, indeed, programs.
Tap that to get rid of the controls. Tap again to bring up the controls. I'm now going to pause the movie at some point, maybe somewhere here. And I'm going to do a home gesture that will bring me back to home. And I'm going to now continue the playback of this movie on the phone when we get to the phone demo. But we'll come back to that in a moment. Let's listen to some music, will we? I'm going to click on music. And that's going to give me the ability to see all my music collection in a detailed view. Again, I scroll with a 3D tilt. And if I want to play a certain album, I just would have to hit on Black Eyed Peas as an example, and they'll start playing the song that I have. And I can adjust the volume. By tapping the volume widget, I can reduce the music, tap on it, and it continues playing in the backdrop. I think it's a little too soft, so let's increase the volume again. And if I want to continue listening to music while I do something else, I can obviously do that. And I can stop the music playback right here by hitting these buttons. I'll pause that, and that will kill the music. Tap back, I'm back on the grid again. The last thing that I wanted to show you here on the tablet before we move on the phone is the browser once again. I'm going to click on the browser. And I had a Wikipedia tab open somewhere here. So you know how we bring up the gestures? Well, first of all, it's Chromeless browsing again. So full screen view, great, beautiful resolution. I do a gesture from the side to bring up my browser controls. And I'll switch my tab to the Wikipedia tab that I have. Zooms in, gives me the tab that I'm looking for. And I want to do a highlight of the word Tron. So I just press and hold. It highlights the word. We have our own highlighting technique, pretty cool, huh? I'm just going to tap that, and I'm going to tap this icon. That gives me options like search, copy, and apps. And if you notice, while waiting, you saw more options coming up. We call this the wheel. And I can scroll through the different options that I have. I have things like videos, dictionary, trailers, buy digital media, or buy DVD, for example. Why don't we just buy a DVD? I'm going to click on that. That's going to split the screen and bring a second browser screen into the equation. This is really cool. You can split screen and deal with functionalities in a tandem fashion, in a combined fashion. No one can do this today. Split screen on a 10-inch browser. On a 10-inch device, you're splitting the browser. I can zoom in individually on each one of these tabs. I can zoom out as well. And if I wanted to close this, I just do a gesture to move it this way, and that closes the tab that I had. I'm going to go back to home right now by going back and doing the home gesture. Again, as you can see, it's pretty cool animations. If you wanted to see different animations, I click on the browser again. You see a waterfall effect that's happening. Motion class animations, as we said. And you have the same motion picture class animations on the phone as well. So shall we move on to the phone to see exactly what we can do with this device? I'm going to power on the phone. That will wake it up from its sleep state. I'm going to sign in. Again, pretty cool way of unlocking your device. You sign in to unlock your device. I can swipe I can pan around the grid like I did on my tablet. So it works in an exactly similar fashion to a tablet. Again, I can collapse the clusters if I like. I can expand on it if I wanted to as well. And you have an endless space, and you can organize the clusters the way you want. If I want to change the background, I just click on that, and let's say I change to a different background. And, well, let's do that. Let's move to another one. Let's just say we choose this one. I apply, and I have a very different looking background right now. And if you notice, the clusters have their own colors as well that denotes a cluster representation. And now I'm going to go and play the video that I left off on my tablet. Seamless state, the ability to continue the video from where I left off. So I'm going to click on videos here. That already brings me to the detail view of Tron. And I can hit play. And again, I get the question, you have a session start for this video. Do you want to resume? Yes, I want to do that. I'm going to say OK. And that's going to play the video. I'm going to move the device for landscape. If you remember, this is exactly where we left the video the last time around. I'm going to show you the browser functionality on the phone. I'm going to tap on the browser. I'm going to look for the browser, pen on it, and then I'm going to tap on the browser. And it will bring up all the different pages that I had. Again, you find the controls as an overlay because it's Chromeless browsing. So if I wanted to switch between my tabs, you don't find the tabs around it like you do on the tablet. But we take the full screen when we want to switch between tabs. I just move the wheel, and it moves between the different tabs that I have. So I'm moving between my second tab and my third tab, and I'm moving back between my third and my second tab right now. It's pretty cool, huh? And if I tap outside of the screen, the Chrome goes, and I can use the device like I normally do. So it's pretty cool functionality of the browser, again on a Chromeless basis on the phone. I'm going to show you the browser functionality on the phone. Let me find the browser. There we go. I'm going to tap on it, and that's going to bring up my browser. And if you notice, the Chrome is an overlay again. Again, this is Chromeless browsing. You get full screen browsing with this Grid4 as well. But the way we deal with the tabs is slightly different from the tablet. With the tablet, you see the tabs all around the wheel. Here you don't. To move between tabs, you just move the wheel. I'm moving between my third and my fourth tab, and I'm moving back to my third tab right now. And I'm moving back to my second tab at the same time. So as you can see, it's very simple browsing using Chromeless browsing. And I get full screen view. If I just tap outside of the screen, it goes. As I scroll, the Chrome disappears. If I want it, I just tap, and the Chrome appears again. Pretty cool. So the Grid4 is also powered by the Grid OS, and you get a great experience using the Grid OS on the phone. As you can see, the Grid4 is quite a device. So how are we pricing this? Smartphones tend to be very expensive traditionally. If you buy a phone on a subsidized basis, you still end up paying a lot of money because you got to get it on a contract, on a 1-year contract, on a 2-year contract. When you do that, the total cost of ownership goes up and becomes very expensive because the contract over the period of time is expensive. So how are we pricing this? If you look at unlocked phones, if you look at the devices behind me, if you look at the iPhone 4, the 16 gig version goes for $649. The HTC Sensation, which is an Android device, goes for $499. So all of the devices, whether it's unlocked or whether you get it on a subsidized basis because of total cost of ownership, is expensive. We're going to price this differently. You are going to be able to buy the Grid 4 for $399 unlocked. It's a 16 gig version, and the device will ship in Q4. You can register your interest on fusiongarage.com today. We will announce operator availability closer to the ship date. And this is going to be very, very exciting for us. So I'm excited. I'm excited with the introduction of the Grid OS, with the Grid 10 and the Grid 4, and the variety of services that we announced along with it. The Grid Desktop, the Grid Shop, the ability to have grid frames, all of that. We are really excited to bring about change in the market. I hope you are excited. Join us. And now it's time for Q&A. So it's time for some questions. Can we get the first question from the moderator, please?
Yes, hello, Chandra. We have a question from Robin in Echo Park, California. Do you think the TabCo campaign was a success?
Yes, the campaign was definitely a success. It was risky for sure, because the product obviously has to live up to the expectations that has been set by the campaign. We achieved our objective of drawing attention to the great products, and we had great engagement on the Twitter community, the Facebook community, and we had a lot of views with our videos as well. So the campaign was a big success for us. Okay.
And now we have a question from Ryan in San Francisco. Many on Twitter felt the campaign was going directly after Apple and claiming that the Grid product would outsell the iPad. Was this your aim?
That is just speculation. We never intended to go after Apple at all. We aren't crazy enough to think that we will outsell Apple. We are big fans of Apple devices ourselves, and that's a standard or benchmark that we're trying to achieve. Apple is and will always probably be the dominant player in this space in the short term. We do believe, however, that the rest of the market has gone into some kind of sameness, and there isn't any innovation, and I think that needs a reinvigoration. We would like to change that, and that's exactly why we did what we did.
And now a question from Andy in England in the UK. Why did you feel it necessary to develop a new OS when Android has become so popular?
Is Android really popular? I'm not sure that Android is popular. I think Android has been selling well because it's the only alternative to Apple. But the Android devices are caught in this reskin game, giving you the same functionalities, the same features, with hardly any differentiation. And I think it's time for change. We have delivered that with the Grid OS. We think supporting Android apps is important, which we do, but Android itself, I think, is caught in this giving the same functionality kind of syndrome. We want to change that. We did that with the Grid OS. We really, really love what we have done, and that's exactly why we decided to develop Grid OS.
And now a question from Julia in Chicago, USA. What do you think is the best part of the Grid 10?
Well, the Grid 10 is really very different from anything out there. It is a new OS that has been built from the ground up. Everything has been rethought and redesigned to reflect the new sensibilities of users. And we think that with the intelligence, with the UI, with the animations, with all of that, we have delivered a really, really different product. And that's why I think people would buy a Grid 10. And we just love the animations as well.
Now from Eddie in San Mateo, California. Who do you think is going to buy this product?
I think anybody who loves innovation, anybody who's tired of the same old thing, anybody who wants the difference, anybody who wants an exciting experience, and people who are, I hope you are excited. We look forward to seeing you again. Thank you.